Have you ever wondered what weed, Tesla, and TLC have in common with Joe Biden? Probably not, but you're about to find out. If you were hoping that this video was going to provide you with some super secret stock tips to help you get rich over the next 4 years, I'm gonna disappoint you. And frankly, that's because anybody who tells you that they know which companies are going to go up while Joe Biden is president is full of shit. Nobody knows what the stock market is going to do in the short term. I mean, think about all the people who invested in construction companies after Trump got elected, thinking we were going to build that wall. None of them got rich because that wall didn't happen. Instead of giving you garbage stock picks, I'm going to tell you why TLC's song Waterfalls gives great investing advice, how to invest in Tesla the smart way and why you should do it, and why the weed industry is positioned to be a moneymaker during the Joe Biden presidency. Don't go chasing short-term gains. Please stick to the index funds and ETFs that you're used to. Those are the lyrics to TLC's song Waterfalls, right? If you've been feeling stressed because you think you need to switch up your investing strategy based on all of the stock market hype that coincides with a new president taking office, I have great news for you. You don't need to switch up your strategy, and here is why. The Federal Reserve has indicated that they'll be keeping interest rates near zero for the foreseeable future. This is great news for stocks because low interest rates make competing investments less attractive. Bonds are considered safer investments than stocks, but when interest rates drop, so do the returns that bonds offer. Since an investor's goal is to make money, when bond rates drop, investors seek out other options that will provide them with a greater return. A great alternative is investing in the stock market. For evidence of this theory, just look back at the stock market's performance over the last decade. In 2008, the Fed lowered interest rates to near zero to help stimulate the economy during the Great Recession. Since then, interest rates have remained low to near zero, and the stock market has boomed. So it's safe to assume that over Biden's first term, interest rates will remain low and the stock market will rise. Because of this, investing in an index fund or ETF that tracks the S&P 500 is a fairly low-risk way to invest and expect a decent return. Since many investors already have these types of investments in their portfolios, there's no need to switch up your investing strategy. You can just stick with the ETFs and index funds that you're used to. If you've had serious FOMO because you haven't started investing in Tesla yet, you're not alone. I'm not going to go tell you to buy a bunch of Tesla company stock though. Doing that will make your portfolio very risky. Why? Because investing heavily in one company's stock means if their stock price plummets, you're going to lose a lot of money. I have great news though. There's a much safer way to invest in Tesla. Buy an index fund or ETF that tracks the S&P 500. Tesla was added to the S&P 500 on December 21st, 2020, which means you can now participate in the Tesla hype without going crazy like Casey and JoJo with it. By buying an index fund or ETF that tracks the S&P 500, you'll be buying a fraction of a share of the 500 companies that make up the S&P 500. Since Tesla is now one of those companies, buying the S&P 500 makes you a Tesla investor, just in a much safer way. Having 500 companies make up the S&P 500 provides diversification to investors and means that if Tesla's stock price plummets, you have 499 other companies' earnings to help offset those losses. Investing in Tesla this way allows you to participate in the Elon hype and avoid the devastation that a drop in Tesla's stock price could cause. Another reason to buy Tesla stock is because Tesla is a clean energy company. On his first day in office, Biden already rejoined the Paris Climate Agreement and issued other environmental policy orders. He's also proposed making radical changes to emission standards to become a 100% clean energy economy by 2050. If this is any indication of how the Biden presidency will go, I would expect a huge push towards clean energy initiatives. And with Democrats controlling the House, Senate, and the presidency, these initiatives are much more likely to be passed. Reducing the effects of global warming may not be Biden's only reason for adopting clean climate legislation, though. With the impending recession that the coronavirus has caused and coal miners still having a really hard time finding work, this could be a great opportunity for job growth. Since Tesla is a clean energy company and already innovating and growing at warp speed, they should be well positioned to benefit from these initiatives during the Biden years. Smoke weed every day isn't just the lyrics to a Snoop Dogg song. It's also become a motto for many. In the last decade, the number of people reporting that they've used marijuana in the last 30 days has increased, as well as the number of people reporting that they've used marijuana more than 20 days in the last month. That means that not only are more people smoking weed, but they're smoking more of it. The exact reasons for this are unknown, but the push toward legalization probably has a lot to do with it. There are only 6 states remaining in the union where Mary Jane hasn't been decriminalized or legalized medically or recreationally. On top of states adopting legalization in large numbers, the MORE Act, which is a federal bill to decriminalize weed, passed in the House on December 4th, 2020. The bill is stalled in the Senate and was expected to fail, but that was before Democrats gained control of the Senate after flipping 2 seats blue in Georgia during the runoff elections. Getting the bill passed isn't going to be a cakewalk, though. Democrats only have a slim majority and still could have trouble getting the bill to pass. The MORE Act to federally decriminalize weed isn't the only weed bill up for a vote in the Senate, though. Another bill called the Safe Banking Act also is awaiting a vote in the Senate, but unlike the MORE Act, has bipartisan support and is much more likely to pass. The great thing for your portfolio about the passing of the Safe Banking Act will be that it is intended to provide marijuana companies with an easier route to secure bank funding. That means cannabis companies will have more access to money to grow their businesses. And if these growth efforts are successful, investors could see high returns. With marijuana usage and consumption on the rise and broadening legalization efforts, the possibility for huge growth in the weed industry is pretty high. And with Democrats controlling the House and the Senate, this could be a great time to get some legislation passed. Investing in marijuana stocks is still a risky bet though, but if you're up for the risk, you can buy a marijuana stock index fund or ETF, and that will give you some broader exposure to the industry than buying a singular company stock will. Just like investing in Tesla through the S&P 500 provides diversification and reduces your risk, investing in marijuana stocks through an index fund or ETF does the same thing. What makes marijuana stocks riskier to invest in is that the 500 companies included in the S&P are better established and span many industries. This helps pad investors further from any large potential losses. Marijuana companies, on the other hand, are much newer and more unpredictable. So if you're gonna invest in marijuana companies, I would do so in a separate account with your fund money. Fund money is money that you put towards stock market gambles and are totally content losing. Once you know what your retirement goal is to live out your retirement dream, and that you're on a path to get there before you retire, then you can start a separate account to gamble with your fund money. Your fund money account is to take lots of risky bets, so you can invest in Tesla company stock, Bitcoin, marijuana companies, small tech upstarts that you think are gonna blow up. Betting on these risky investments means that you could make a ton of money on one of these, but it also means that you have a high potential to lose it all. That's why I recommend that these types of investments make up no more than 10% of your entire portfolio and that you only use your fund money to make them. So what do weed, Tesla, and TLC all have in common with Joe Biden? They're all investments that stand to do well during the Joe Biden years. Low interest rates should make TLC's investing approach of sticking to your long-term strategy a win. Tesla being added to the S&P 500 gives you a less risky way to jump on the Tesla bandwagon and to take advantage of their position as a clean energy company. And if you're looking to have a little bit more fun with your portfolio, the Senate makeup and bills awaiting a vote should make the marijuana industry well positioned to grow during the Biden years. So you don't need to stress about changing up your investing strategy. The best stocks for you to buy during Biden's first term are the same ones you've been buying. You should still maintain your long-term investing approach, find easy and safe ways to invest in market-leading companies, and make sure you're always having a little fun with it. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching my video this week. If this helped you feel less stressed about having a new president and what you need to do with your investments, and gave you some insight into what industries could perform well over the next few years, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, because I want to be a rich bitch just as much as you, and it helps me with the algorithm. I release a new video every Saturday that gives you tips on personal finance, investing, and how to build your wealth. So if that is something that you are interested in, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye.